Hi, my name is Lakeisha from the Lakeisha Network. I am here to remind you to go to your Google or Apple App Store. Simply type the word LAKESHA and then search to install and download the Lakeisha Alert app to stay up to date on my new superior features. Subscribe to my YouTube page, opening up your app and clicking menu. Hi, my name is Lakeisha from the Lakeisha Network. I am here to remind you to go to your Google or Apple App Store. Simply type the word LAKESHA
Testing, 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 testing. How everybody doing? Welcome, it's your guy Ty Data, Tyron Vital, the cyborg, coming at you. We got a little, we got a little situation, you know, that I want to kind of warn the parents and warn the community about, living in the deep web community and about some of these deep web children. We have a story out of Sheldon, Connecticut. Um, this is this is a story. We don't want to make it a white or black thing, because it's an American thing. And so, well, I'm just gonna start reading a little bit of the story first, and then I want to kind of get you guys, up to date on what's going on, and then I'm gonna try to sum it up. So first off, let me give a shout out. We got Gretchen Helms first in the building. No, you know what I'm saying, hardest working woman in the community right now. Um, Let me see who's that. Who's that? Nighthawk, Turtle Island, Niji. Uh, oh, we got Copper Suit and Featherlocks in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? Who else we got out there? Who else we got out there? Okay, so we just we're just a little, we're not too deep, but anyway, yeah. So this is some of the activity that me personally I've been running the community about, and I've been trying to trying to introduce people, but it seems like people really don't take it too much serious. Don't take it too serious until it happens to them. But before I go into this article, I want to see if Chief and because I got Chief Holiday in the building and we got Black Lotus in the building, so I want to go ahead and see if they want to say something before I go into this article, and then break this stuff down, because I honestly believe that parents out here is very unaware of what's going on out here and why it's happening. Everybody just say, "Oh, it's a race thing." And no, that's old, bro. It's deeper than some racist kid or something like that. So these are deep web children, and these are deep web communities, and these are deep web schools and stuff that our kids are going through. And I know our community is unaware of this stuff because the deep web is not in our culture. Although some of us might visit the deep web or might have heard about it, maybe even studied it, or have some link to it, but it's nothing that is a part of our culture. If the deep web was to disappear tomorrow and we can just keep the regular web, our community will be pretty much almost exactly the same. But other communities can't say the same for them. And so I just want to bring it to everybody's attention, especially parents that go, especially parents and people that who live in secluded towns. If I said that right. And but I'm gonna see if they got something going, and then we gonna go in. Uh, you guys got something y'all wanna talk about before I go into this article real quick?
Yeah, just a little later too, y'all. We're gonna be doing an exclusive interview. Um, in this case, and this is a real sensitive matter, man. I know this is happening all over the country, and it doesn't have to happen when your child is in a minority position either. Just the system has always put our children, even if they're excelling in this system, right? You know, the system still will make it socially harder for them. You know what I'm saying? The way things are set up. So we're gonna have to talk about that. And so it's interesting that Ty Data correlates this to the deep web. Um, and just hearing you earlier, I see how you put it together. So it's gonna be interesting how you can break that down for the people, man. So yeah, man, this is an interesting thing because like you said, it's not in our culture. Hate is not even in our culture. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between janking somebody. When we were in school, we called you all types of names. It's in good spirit. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a difference too. So we got to understand the difference between bullying and janking. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, that's what we do over here. It's all in good spirit. Even when we jank Unc and Garfield them or whatever, we're janking them out of good spirit. So it's not out of
Those is our brothers, and
hateful. Of
those
course,
are our brothers. Even though we know there are some Aboriginal game bangers out there, Rob Bourne and them, they're still our brothers, y'all. We not going.
I just
They're
want to
still our
hear. I just
brothers,
want to hear
y'all.
from. I just want to hear from some pale people how they feel about these things that's going on in their towns, in their communities, in their country. So We gotta talk about this. So yeah, peace and love to the tribe, man. Troops in the building. Shout out to the noble Lotus civilization, and we got the great Ty Date in the building. Peace to the guys, man. We in the building.
Peace. We appreciate it. Lois,
That's
who out
right.
there? I'm gonna put the
Oh,
link in the chat. This is the link to the article. It was is a major is this is actually a a international story. So but we don't want to get the parents involved in this particular story because it's gonna it's we're gonna keep it communicative, but at the same time we're gonna be honest. And I want to I think it's a good time to, awakening the people and to warn the people about the places and stuff where they actually live at because we pretty much push everything under the racist table. Oh, they said this, it's racist. Everything is racist, and nobody it never went further. And I'm gonna take it further to just everyday common racist, and that's what this story is gonna be about.
wow, family. Honorable admiration to my brothers and sisters of the feather, everyone out there. Man, this is something that definitely needs to be dealt with. This is our youth. This is our future. Our children who are growing up in this, and this is shocking me because personally, I had no knowledge of how deep this deep web thing really is, and it's just open for our teenagers to have access to this. I have a 14-year-old, so at any time she could get something sent to her. She could click on it. Next thing you know, she's on deep web seeing all kind of weird things, and I'm never gonna know about it because she has a cell phone. This is and I don't know what's going into her head watching these things, having a bad day. This is so important for kids that have hormones and all these things going on and raging in them, and then seeing these things that are presented on the deep web. It's ridiculous. It sends too many. It's firing off too many thoughts in the brain that should not be in the mind of our youth. It should not have these thoughts at all. So, man, it's very important that this is put out, and this is beyond exposure. It's beyond exposure. It's very interesting. Just look these things up. It's like your search engine shuts down, but you're still able to click on the stuff, and all these weird things come up that you have access to. It's that easy. It's a click away. So it's something that needs to be dealt with. Um, of course, good brother Grant Sheik Holiday in the building, and good brother Cyborg, none other than Ty Data. Man, this is something that we're gonna really dig into and give genuine insight into what's going on with this. So I'm honored to be here and to be a part of this.
Thank you, please, my good brother, Lotus Television, and the Chief Holiday. First off, I wanna, want to say peace to the chat, everybody, and I want to kind of lead up to the situation. Where, as you can see, the Sheldon High School, the situation, it was a situation, and I actually, we actually got to talk to the little girl's mother, and so and her response was pretty, was she was concerned, saying she was concerned, but I also wanted to make sure that we keep, what I'm saying, no matter what she do, that we keep the information and the situation about her daughter and how her daughter feels. Now, a lot of news media and media people and politicians, including myself, a lot of us like to take stories like this and we like to use this stuff for political footing and for recommendations and our little archives and things like that. And so, but I'm one of the people that I am aware of that. So I want to emphasize that the whole ordeal, don't take it out of for granted that the way and that the young sister has to go to school and the way she feel at school is the most important thing out of the whole ordeal. So no matter what happens and no matter what we talk about, we can't forget that that is the number one topic of the day. Most of us been in school 10, 20, 30 years ago, don't know what it's like it is for these for these new kids to go to school, and I can't really imagine. What I'm saying? I can't put myself in her footsteps because I just can't do it. What I'm saying? My brain wouldn't allow me to be a 14-year-old girl and shit getting, you know, bullied. What I'm saying? I can't go there, and so I can't speak up on it, and so I just want to put that out before we go in. Now, the article is supposed to be an exclusive. NAACP and Sheldon Public School investigates a controversial Snapchat video between two students. Now, um, when I look at that and I see the word between, it was a controversial Snapchat video. So, and when I look at between two students, it makes it seem like that they was going back and forth, and maybe one of them went a little overboard a little. You see what I'm saying? So I'm already, what I'm saying, me knowing a little more about the story and me knowing a little bit about what happened, I'm already critiquing. But I know that in the news in the media they gotta have a headline. But I take a little offense of the word between. One girl got sent. Okay, it wasn't a conversation between. It was somebody's, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so so as it goes, the NAACP was out there. They talked to the parents and things like that. And we also want to be thankful and grateful for them for coming out there to taking time to put some light on the story and taking the story to the next level. Because everybody knows sometimes when the NAACP get activated, there's like a media chain reaction. But at the same time, we don't want our sister and brothers and their families being used as guinea pigs and being used as political pawns or for somebody's news story or somebody's Twitter war and without actually understanding how the young lady feels, because that's the most important. So it says the NAACP Valley Branch demanded action after a string of racially charged incidents at Sheldon High School. Sheldon Public School is looking into a controversial Snapchat video exchange between two students there. So the word between, like, maybe I don't know if they was going back and forth at each other, or I don't know if she just got sent one. But knowing the history, chances are she just got sent one. It says uh, this is not the first time. This is not the second time. This is not the third incident, says Greg Johnson, president of the NAACP Valley Branch. Johnson said he's fed up with Sheldon School and racist incidents. Now, the one part of that, is turning. What I'm saying, it's not turning American. It's turning racist already. And so, this is pretty normal. This is a normal everyday American conversation. Some black kids, some white kids, and I feel like this is American thing. We all live here together. So you're American or you're not. So if you want to dice American down to all Americans that's right hand versus all Americans that's left hand, and if you want to start getting nitpicky, it takes away from what's actually happening, and it puts a historical presence on it. So all the Aboriginal people get to have this historical feeling about this, about back in the day and all this. And so that's one part about it. I'm not too you know I'm not feeling too much. He said the latest incident involves a white girl rapping in a Snapchat video. I'm not gonna say the news story, but there's a news that dropped it. Their local news, and it's a national news, but I'm not going to mention them. Um, cannot release the video because of her age. Um, but she eventually said the N word. So, apparently a little white girl was rapping in a video talking about the N word or whatever. Now it's all about how the song was laid out, how the song was mapped out, because some of those songs can be very aggressive. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on that. It said Caitlyn Jensen is I'm saying her name right, Chief? Caitlyn Hello, Chief
Yeah, Caitlin Jernigan.
Jernson Jernigan.
Yep, Jernigan.
Okay, Jernigan. Okay, that's right. Okay, Caitlin Jernigan, 15 of Sheldon said the girl has been bullying her in school on social media and sent her videos on Snapchat with the intent to offend her. Now, you know what I'm saying? So this is something sometimes when it involves children and they say things like that, sometimes we like to overthink it like, oh, she don't know when she's offended. She don't know. And so we begin to try to get technical and we begin to try to get all analytical and we're not understanding that that girl is 15 years old. She know when somebody's harassing her. Okay? She knows when somebody is trying to offend her. I'm pretty sure at 15 years old, you know when somebody's got some ill intentions. But what we normally do, especially in the media, we get technical, we get analytical, and we start looking at all this other stuff, and we just like, well, and we just bypass how how people feel and how children feel. Okay, so first off, let's make this clear. This young woman knows exactly what's going on and exactly what went on. Anybody that try to question what this little girl felt or what she was thinking, you're a super weirdo. Um, then it said everybody knows. Let me see. Everybody knows that the word where the word come from. I felt like that just made me so mad because I'm a Dodge to hijack. You know what I'm saying? She's 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Dodge to hijack. Aboriginal American, uh, or just American. Just put it like that. Just American. She's American. Let's forget the little titles and the left hand against the right hand, the blue eyes against the brown eyes. Let's forget all about that. This is America. Can I get an American Jack out, you chief? What how it go?
This is America, Jack.
Oh, chief eating. He got a Subway. What you got? Subway? You a vegan?
Ah, some ice. No, I
Oh,
said
okay.
this is America, Jack.
Right. This
And
is
yo, I think another thing too. They said off the top, they said a white girl sings a rap song. First off, she's not white. So pale people don't walk around calling themselves white people. Hi, we're the white people. Hi, we're the white people. You know what they actually do? They actually wrap themselves around being American while they pushing you off and make you say you're an African American. We're
hmm
not Africans. We're Americans. Okay? We're not Black Americans. We are Americans.
right. We're not
We are the
right-handed,
first Americans.
left-handed, brown-eyed, blue-eyed. We're just American. Good
First
old-fashioned
Americans.
American. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Girl.
And the people that she's dealing with are actually immigrants who are doing everything they in their power to set up impediments, you know, for our young women and men out there. You know, these are the problems. And in order for them to succeed, you have to start thinking like them is what they think. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can't disclose about what the mother said um, is that they mess with the right one. You know, the family. She's a fighter. Kaylin's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? They father's a fighter. Everybody's fighting. So, we're fighting. And what's so crazy, y'all? As we speak, you would think that the newspaper, I mean, this article, getting out and it being on the news and stuff would make it worse. These kids have tripled and doubled down and quadrupled down on their cyberbullying. They only use it as fuel. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, these things have to be brought out, y'all. Like I said, there's gonna be some updates tonight. Get some exclusives over here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody, man. And this is not exploitation of this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is really hitting home. It really affects my household. So that's how that works. So we're gonna fight back the best way we know how. So salute to everybody, man. Peace to all great one. Shout out to
Right.
my neighbor.
Right. So basically, as you can see, that's somebody in his family, his immediate family. So this is a family member, of Chief Holidays. This is not a random person. This is not a random story. So this hit home, like literally. You see what I'm saying? And me, the guy who's been talking about this for 2 years now, I'm activated and I feel some type of way because now we got to deal with the deep web And I feel like this is a perfect time to try to put that out there because the mainstream media do not want to talk about the deep web. They do not want to talk about how embedded the deep web is in their culture and how it's a part of their everyday culture. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. It says, I am the only American. I'm a dodge the hijack. American girl that goes in a major white school, says Jen. Um, it says she has been threatening to fight me, harm me, and honestly I feel so unsafe in that school. And I've told them, and they simply just told me to ignore it. Okay, so they just told them to ignore it. Now, okay, this is kind of where I'm gonna stop right there. This is kind of where I come in at. Now, of course I looked up the school. Okay. First thing popped up is this character right here. He's I'm pretty sure he's a deep webber. He looks like, some type of pervert. And he, let me see if I can bring the story up on this guy. Now this was a guy, I believe he went to the school, but he was also got arrested for threatening to kill somebody with a gun on Snapchat. Now, I believe the gun was told to be fake, but he got convicted of a threatening to kill somebody. So let me see if I can get his name out the deal and put him out there. So this is the same exact school. Now, see what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a link to the deep web, and I'm looking for how embedded this culture is in the deep web. Because most people got to go to work and got a lot of stuff to do, so they don't really link all these racialized activities, and they don't really link deep what's his name, Dylan Roof. They don't really understand his deep web relationship. Let's say the Vegas shooter, deep web's relationship. These Walmart killings, and these school killings, and all this racial activity. Like they don't understand that, they don't talk about the deep web relationships. Now, the reason, and this is what I've been looking for. And so what is this guy named Ezra's? uh Israez Rise, that's his name. And so that's not the boy. This is another incident. I'm gonna try to get a date on this incident. I believe it said posted September 16, 2019. So this was a couple months ago when this dude got arrested for that. And also, so I'm gonna put that article up in there, and this is the same town, same school. And so now I'm beginning to paint a picture. I'm beginning to formulate a picture of this town and also this school. But I'm trying to keep my opinions, you know, to myself during this time. So I'm thinking, okay, it can be a coincidence. So now I looked a little bit further. And now what I found a pedophile school teacher. I found a school teacher that was, they call it misconduct. They call it misconduct. So of course they're going to call it misconduct because it's one of their school teachers. I'm gonna put their article in there. And then let me see if I can get this article on screen. Hold on one second. Testing, testing, testing. Can y'all hear me? Okay, it says ex Sheldon high school teacher accused of misconduct with 17-year-old student. Where I'm from up here in Minnesota, we call, what I'm saying, we call this some type of statutory, we call this some type of rape. I don't know what you want to call it, but here's the guy right here. So obviously he's a perverted. Obviously, I put this under the deep web influence, but as you can see, it says formerly Sheldon Middle School math teacher is facing charges after police say he took a 17-year-old student out to dinner and in April and tried to kiss her on the lips. So his name is George. What is that? Let me see. George Pradua, 57. turned himself into police Tuesday, spokesman Detective Richard Bongen says in the press release Wednesday. So same school. Now this is a teacher. So I'm starting to paint a picture of what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let Chief and them go in for a second because I want to show you guys how to look for deep web towns, deep web states. I got some stuff I want to check out before I go in, but let me see what they got to say right back. Y'all good? Chief, you out there? Hello? Okay. So what I'm gonna do the first thing you can do. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up a video. Okay, I'm gonna bring up a video that I did about the deep web. This video was taken uh November 2017. So I did a report on the deep web, warning parents and warning people about this stuff. So we're gonna get into the little bit of that video, and I'm gonna tell you how to find out if your town and if your city is a deep web town based on certain type of activity. Because a lot of these racialized tension and a lot of this stuff stimulates from the deep web. The deep web is the engine that runs this stuff. And those of you who don't know what the deep web is, the deep web is like um let's just say the web is an ocean, and let's just say Google and the internet we use, let's just say that's a lake. And so we fish in the lake, and so in our lake is more secure. So so certain activities can't go on because it's small, everybody know each other. You know what I'm saying? Everything's running on the same frequency, the same type of coding and little things like that on a web that we use. The deep web will be like the ocean. So it's like trying to catch a turtle in the ocean without even knowing where they're going to be at. You see what I'm saying? Without even knowing how turtles, operate. Just going out there, you see what I'm saying? So it's very huge. And so it's very hard to regulate. So it's very hard to regulate. And so this part of the internet is a huge part of these people's culture. You see what I'm saying? It's a big part of their culture. And so this type of things that play out on the deep web, I notice them when I see them, when I see them in the news. But most of the news medias and most of the news outlet, they are very familiar with the deep web and they know about this stuff, but they try to act like it doesn't exist because they know it's going to poke a hole in their whole entire culture. And I am warning our parents, and I am warning teenagers, and I'm warning people, when you see these type of activities, understand this is where it stimulates from. I don't know how many videos I have to do to teach people. And now you have a young lady, who's being bullied, and people telling her, "Oh, it's no big deal." And as this that's the same school that the guy threatened to kill somebody, that's the same school with the pedophile math teacher. Okay? And now we finna go deeper in the culture, and we're gonna see different things about that school. Now, are we going to go ahead and watch a couple minutes of this video? You can catch it on the Lakeisha Network YouTube page. Lakeisha Network, The Dangers of the Deep Web. Where do missing children go? Now, the deep web, it stimulates where all crime is going to go to the deep web. At some point, there's going to be some deep web activity. Most of the time in our neighborhoods, all our trash and all our garbage is right outside. You go outside, there's dudes out there selling drugs, slinging stuff, doing stuff. All our garbage, all our pedophiles, all our weirdos is right outside. And we know exactly who they is, and some of them might clean themselves up and have some good jobs every once in a while, but they get caught. They go to jail. Okay? But then when you go to more suburban neighborhoods and other neighborhoods, I got this saying. I say during the day, Joe the plumber, and at night, Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, that's my little saying. You can use it as well, but there's a meaning what I'm trying to say. During the day, Joe the plumber. At night, Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, and this deep web activity be going on. I just put it at night because most people have jobs and they're respectable businessmen and things like that. But you have all these D-web activities. So let's go ahead and get into this video. I want to see if anybody want to say something or got any questions before we go a couple minutes into this video. We got any questions out there? We got Black Caesar out there. We got Chief Wuya up in the building. Why y'all? Let me see. Anybody? Chief? Okay. Well, we going in. I'm going in. Here we go.
So it's very disturbing. Now, this one right here is very, very super disturbing because this one is bestiality. Now, so bestiality is practiced in these communities like it is normal. And when you see these people with these animals and with these dogs, it is very disturbing once you put that stress, that threshold. Now, I'm going to click on here to explicit to come up. And basically, I think I might be able to show this. Basically, it don't show any hardcore stuff, but it shows some very disturbing stuff. And this is one of the things I want to show you. Now, understand they have women, men, teens, boys, and girls. Men, women, teen, boys, and girls. I wanted to show you that. And so these are different people that they have bestiality. So they have their teens, their old women, moms, families, the family.
All right. Now, as you that was the little part about bestiality. Now, that's a code when you can if you just simply do a search on where is the bestiality legal at, and you would quickly notice, you would quickly understand the deep web towns and the deep web cities. Now, I just looked on something called answer.com, and it says bestiality is legal in Alaska, Arizona, Colorado, and sure enough, Connecticut. Also in Florida, we know they got some heavy perverts in Florida. Hawaii, Iowa, Kentucky, all some country people in Kentucky, all Louisiana. Oh, come on, Louisiana, bro. Louisiana, y'all doing dogs, bro? Oh, and Missouri. Everybody know Missouri is all messed up because they can marry you at 11 in Missouri. So as you can see, now what I'm doing is I'm looking for deep web. I'm looking for deep web connections. And so when you look at the bestialities, legal, that means it's legal there. That means you can marry your dog, or you can have sex with animals and it's normal. You see what I'm saying? That is a deep web characteristic. That is something that is that they promote. You see what I'm saying? And so right there, as you can see, Connecticut is one of them. So now I have a link to the deep web based on the laws in Connecticut. Now, I also read a story that the current mayor or governor, whoever, is trying to change that. But it's a little bit too late because you got caught, Connecticut. Y'all up there doing dogs and you got caught. Okay? This is the Lakeisha Network, you know what I'm saying? And we out here for real. And now you guys got this D-Web activity boiling over in the schools. Okay? Now, so as we go farther, I have more stories. We have a story when a neighbor had one of the neighbors in the same town, Sheldon, same town, Sheldon. Let me see if I can find that story. The same town in Sheldon accused um a man got accused of bestiality in Connecticut. Here we go right here. Pervert. Now the governor is trying to make it illegal based on this case, but you already caught, Connecticut. It says bestiality is not illegal in Connecticut according to Animals AW. I'm guessing that's awareness.info. The legalization of zoophilia. Wow, wow. otherwise termed bestiality, is not controlled by the federal level. So as you can see, bestiality is in the community. It's in the culture. Okay. Now let's not say everybody. Let's not put a color on it or anything like that, because this it can be anybody. But we definitely know it's not in our culture though. You see what I'm saying? I can speak for our culture. I can't speak for every individual. Oh, hold on. You guys can't see it. Hold on. Oh, here we go right here. This is the story right here. So it says governor make bestiality illegal in Connecticut. So they're trying to use this story to make it illegal, but bestiality is not illegal in Connecticut, according to animalaw.info. You see what I'm saying? They call it zoophilia. Zoophilia. You see what I'm saying? That they even have a name for it. So they have a legal last name for it. They have a political name for it. Like it's a real thing, you guys. And this is and also in Connecticut. So I believe it's the same town. Let me see if this is the same town. Um, hey Lotus, you out here? Let me see. Yep, here
Oh
we
yeah, I'm
go.
here, family.
Hey, here we go. Yep, yep. Lotus found this story, by the way. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Lotus. Lotus found this story right here. You know what I'm saying? Joan uh Flemings of Sheldon was fined a lawsuit in Milford Supreme Court, seeking at least $5,000. Wow.
Now you see the name of it. What's the name right there?
Sheldon
Shelton.
of
That's the
Shelton.
city.
Yup,
That's the
of
city.
Shelton.
That high
So this is
school
the
name.
same town, you guys.
Same
Same
area.
town. You
Something
see what I'm
wrong.
saying? And so,
Spiritual.
yep, it's the same town. So as you can see, that's deep web activity there. You see what I'm saying? It's a deep web culture. It's a deep web presence there in those towns, and I'm pretty sure it's some in the town you live in, especially if you live in the bestiality towns, because you already know. You know what I'm saying? The bestiality is gonna go. It's gonna go where they can get legalized at. And we also know Canada. I believe Canada finally got theirs abolished, but Canada had some weirdo stuff. Canada got a lot of weirdo little laws and all this type of stuff. They got that stuff too. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the type of stuff we do at the Lakeisha Network, because we here to protect the community, and we gotta. Oh, you live in Kentucky? Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely be careful out there. Y'all definitely doing animals down there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So definitely be careful. You see what I'm saying? Make sure you strap up with the Lakeisha alert if you can. If not, find some type of communication system or whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they definitely doing animals down there, and so that's some of the deep web activity. And so now what I want to do is I want to warn parents about this deep web activities in these deep web towns. They look very normal. They're always very clean. The reason why they clean, because they want to maintain a persona that everything is good here. Everything is okay here. The grass is always cut. It looks like Pleasantville when you go there. But at nighttime, when the computer cuts on, it's straight deep web time. Now, one of the things that I found, one of the most things I found disturbing. One of the most. Hold on, before I go in, Chief, anybody?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you wanna go in before I kind of get in my little
Uh,
zone mode thing,
oh
whatever.
no, you good. You good, man.
Okay, well I'm going in. Well, one of the most things I found disturbing, parents, is on the D web they have something called a Gore chat room. It's called a Gore chat. And so, I am a parent, and so I went in there before. I went in one before. And any given time, it would be normal conversation. Hey, how you doing? You seen the game? Um, Kobe scored, blah 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 blah. And all of a sudden, there's somebody like, I'm thinking about killing my parents. And then everybody get to talk about killing their parents and blah 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 blah. And then Eric carry that, and then it would stop, and it would go back normal. Yeah, did you watch the cartoons, or have you been to the mall? Or it would be normal for a little bit, and then somebody would just come up, I shot my dog, and I liked it, and so it's called the Gore chat room. Okay, you can find them to the deep web, the Tor browser. Many of these circles and many of these criminal enterprises, they make their own browsers, so it's very hard to find the certain rings because they have their own private browsers, and also the politicians as well. The politicians, the attorney generals, I am positive the attorney generals have their own private browsers. And I'm probably pretty sure the Pope and all the high up people, they have their own private browsers. And so this is why it's very hard to detect a lot of the information. Um, this is why it's very hard to detect a lot of the information and find these guys red-handed, is because they make their own private browsers. So if I got my own private browser, then the only way you can get in there is if you're allowed. So it's very tight knit community. But when you go to the Tor browser, most of the people on the Tor browser try to emulate the people who's sorry about that. The people who has the private browsers, and they get to talk about the private stuff. So it start from the private browsers, from the real hardcore up there attorney generals, congressmen. So they got their private browsers, the rich men, the billionaires start there. And then it bores over into another community, which is like a deep web community. We can get there, but it's certain ways you can get there. This is out to the public, but the news media never talks about it. The news media never say anything about it. So once it goes there, then it goes to the Tor. So the Tor browser is a third string browser. Even though it's very big and it have lots of activity there, it is a third string browser. But the Tor browser is emulating the other two browsers. So when you go on your Tor browser, you get to see, you can order kidneys and whatever it is, all the stuff that they say you can do on the D web, it's true. Now, one of the reasons why I'm fascinated with the deep web personally is because it is a significant and highly advanced communications equipment. So I like the deep web because of communication capabilities. But and so but it has a bad name. And so these towns and these communities, they have deep web activity and deep web flowing already through them. And then next thing you know, there are kids running around in blackface. There, kids running around doing this. They have a new genre of music called school shooter music. It's called school shooter music. It's some headbanging music. I heard my son say that one day. He was just, he was just, no, he would just say it all normal, like it was normal to them. I don't know what I'm doing. He playing the PlayStation, the Xbox, whatever. I'm cleaning up, doing something, and I heard him say, "Oh, did he have some school shooter music?" And blah 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 blah. I said, "Boy, what you say?" He said, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "School shooter music." I'm like, "What is that?" He was like, "Yeah, that's that heavy metal and stuff and that heavy rock stuff. They call it school shooter music. So they have a genre of school shooter music now." You see what I'm saying? And so now you get to see, now when you start seeing these kids act out and they're being racist, they have something called the quote unquote African American Holocaust. There's a website that I didn't go in there because they wanted me to pay money, but I read the description about it. I read the description about it. And basically it's a bunch of videos, a bunch of pictures, and a bunch of stuff of Aboriginal people being drugged, getting our arms ripped apart, and it's that so-called unquote African American Holocaust. That's what they call it, and they got a bunch of pictures. They also have necrophilia. They have suicide sites, and so when I see this stuff carried out in the media, when I see this stuff carried out in these schools, I quickly attaches this stuff to the D web because that's where a lot of this stuff stimulates. And the news media do not make the connection. They never make the connection of where this stuff comes from. They make it seem like we believe that okay, there's just racism because their parents are racist, and so they just got some leftover racism left. It ain't washed out yet. That's what most people tend to think. But they're not understanding that there is a engine of racism, a engine of weirdo activity, a engine of all types of strange things, and it's called the deep web. And many of these communities have a lot amount of deep web activities in them, especially Florida. Especially Florida. Florida is one of the major ones. Um, and many of these activities are state sponsored as well. You see what I'm saying? Some no, whoa. Let me slow down. There is some evidence that I have that shows some of these activities is state sponsored. You see what I'm saying? And so I have to warn parents all across, just let people know, when you see, certain activity with weird school shooters, with, teenagers acting weird, and all the weirdo stuff that's on the internet, understand that this stuff have a hangout. It has a hangout. It starts on the deep web. Well, it starts on a private browser. It bubbles over to the other browser, and then it bubbles over to the Tor browser, and then it bubbles over in Google. And by the time it get to Google and Chrome, it's a little mild down, but it still has the same effect. So I definitely want people to be aware of this. And before we go, I do have to say that this has nothing to do with this segment right here has nothing to do with the parent of the school. This is something I totally did on my own. After I felt her energy, and after I told her my concerns, and things like that. I had to. I thought this was a good time to come out and warn our sisters and our brothers and our parents and our kids about where this stuff stimulates. It is not just old fashioned racism anymore. It is not just old fashioned black or white anymore. This stuff has a home, a real hardcore home on the deep web. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my video in the chat so people can see some of the very strange things that's on the deep web. I don't want to talk about everything right here and right now. And so now you have these deep web kids. So now our kids are going to school with deep web kids, and we're living in deep web cities. And how you know they're deep web kids? Just check their behavior and their activity. And so the activity that happened to the young lady, the young lady being racist, the other lady being racist, and calling her this and calling her that. Now that stimulates to that deep web activity. She probably got it somewhere off the deep web. If not, she probably knows somebody. I'm pretty sure she knows somebody that goes on the deep web. They pick this stuff up. They pick this stuff up all types of places, but you cannot take the deep web out of the equation. If you take the deep web out of the equation, this is why the NAACP going around saying, "Oh, it's just all good old fashioned racism. Nothing to see here. Just good old fashioned white folks. Blah 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 blah." And we're saying, no, this is American problem. America, get a hold on your deep web. Regulate it. Find something to do with it, because we don't do that. That's not a part of our culture. We don't sit around. We don't do animals. We don't do dogs. We don't do all that stuff as a culture. Now, if you found some loose weirdo in Texas, or some loose weirdo in Florida or somewhere, that's on them. But as a culture, we do not practice none of that deep web activities. Maybe some of the gang banging and stuff like that. But anyway, so I just want to testing. Yeah, I just wanted to stress that out. And we want to say, anybody got anything else to say? Anybody got any questions? Um, I'm gonna give you a couple seconds, and Lotus, one of y'all want to go in for a second, and if anybody got any questions about the D Web, maybe I can get a call in number, and people can call in, or something like that. So who with me? You'll laugh. They got you
Yeah,
on the D
Malak.
Web. They took Lotus to the D Web. Oh,
uh,
uh,
I wonder what this like this deep web thing. The accessibility for children to get on deep web and then the influence that it has. It's a very interesting. World star hip hop, as deep as our web is really gonna get, and yeah. So unfortunately, that is.
Well, back in the day, I remember back in the day, we used to have a set of videotapes called Faces of Death. Y'all remember those? Anybody remember Faces of Death?
I remember it.
You remember that? There was
I watched
probably
all of them.
uh
I watched all of them.
watched all of them. Yeah, there was
Before you
probably
go into that, I probably shouldn't say this, but I do have access to stuff in these webs, and what I'm
right,
saying, as
right,
most of us do.
right.
I can show images of it, but it's like so graphic. You would be like, man, you
Yep,
know,
yep. So we got introduced to that. We got introduced to that through a video series back when we used to have VCRs. This was even before DVDs. It was a series called Faces of Death, and it was very popular during the Jerry Springer era. You know what I'm saying? Because remember they hit us with Jerry Springer first, and then you know what I'm saying, and then the Faces of Death. You know what I'm saying? So Faces of Death was you pop in the videotape and you got people being stabbed and you got all types of crazy stuff, and we watched it. You know what I'm saying? And most of us got out of it. Most of us probably, forgot about it, but we did watch it. But now these people now our kids are walking around with a 24-hour Faces of Death device on their phone. You see what I'm saying? Just quick download the Orfox, download the Tor browser, boom, they in there. You see what I'm saying? We needed a big old TV with a VCR, and we needed to get the tape. So we needed to get a dub copy because y'all remember we used to have the dub. Y'all remember that? Yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah, we used to have to.
yeah, you
Yeah,
had to go through it, man,
yeah,
just to watch
yeah. We used to
something
have the
crazy.
dub videotapes. You hook the VCR up to the TV, and then hook another VCR up, and you can play it, and then you can record it and stuff. Was that just me?
Nah, that's our we around the same age. So you already know
Yeah, 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 yeah,
that's
yeah.
our
Yeah,
that's
we were
our
about the
era.
same age, so we did that, and so definitely be careful and watch for these deep web activities. It is not in our culture. You know what I'm saying? When we be complaining about the rappers, oh man, the rappers talking about drugs, we are lucky. I'm sorry, but drunk ass Lil Wayne on TV, we're lucky because they're in their households, their fathers and uncles are talking about doing animals and you know necrophilia and all types of weirdo stuff. So we better be lucky we just got Lil Wayne and the drunk rappers and the drug addicts. We better be lucky with that. I take a drug addict over a necrophilia, pedophile, whatever, any day. You know what I'm saying? I raise you up. You know, so but parents definitely be on alert. If you got these kids in school, what you want to do is you want to listen to them talking on the phone and listen to their lingo. And if you can hear their lingo, you can find out where their influence is coming from. So just listen to them talking. You know what I'm saying? They be cussing up a storm. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell what type of words they're using and where they get the lingo. Most of the time, most in our culture, we usually keep it pretty Google. You see what I'm saying? In our culture, we usually keep it pretty Google. But some of their kids and some of these other kids in these other, communities, they're not on Google at night. You see what I'm saying? They're going to get their little gore chat fix and they're going to talk about stumping their dog out tonight and make a good story on the gore chat, you know, and things like that. And also, when it and um the government knows about this and the news media knows about this. The only time they really crack down on the deep web is when there's millions of dollars involved. I believe it's about 2009, 2010 or somewhere. There was a huge website called Silk Road. Silk Road was a huge website, and they sold lots of drugs on there, and they was making millions of dollars on there. And so what they did is they cramped down because they was jealous. They wanted that money. So they went in there and got their money. A couple, a little bit later, Word 2.0 was out. So as quick as they shut them down, as quick as they pop up. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the deep web. I don't know if people understand how like the velocity of the deep web. You know what I'm saying? To me, it is a communications tool. It is a way for me to call Chief Holiday without Verizon knowing. That's how I see it. Okay, it is a way for me to call up Libra without AT&T knowing I did. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is to me. It is a radio station that, you know what I'm saying, that we can do anything we want and say anything we want. That it's you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at it like a communications, something like that. But most people don't use it for that. You know what I'm saying? At least the ones over here. So you can do a quick Google search on the deep web, but keep in mind there are different layers of the deep web. The one I'm talking about is the Tor browser. That's the easy access one, or the Fox. If you have Android, you can download the Fox. If you have Apple, I believe you can get the Fox as well. But sometimes you have to jailbreak or root your phone first, before you can get good access to the deep web. Um, I mean, your TV, your internet, your TV have deep web capabilities. Your PlayStation, all this stuff have deep web capabilities. You just don't nobody know about it, but I do. I know about it. Now, the average person probably don't know that they can go to deep web with their PlayStation or their Xbox. Or hell, if you smart enough, you can get an alarm clock to go there. You see what I'm saying? And so I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back to the main topic is the way the young sister feel. Before we go, I want to bring it back there, and I want to, is before we go on a tangent and before we go on all this other stuff, let's not forget the fact that there's a young sister out there, and I'm gonna give I'm gonna hook them up with the Lakeisha app. What I'm saying, teach them how to use it and stuff like that. So I got that covered because this is why we made the Lakeisha alert app. But don't forget, it don't work without the community. Like if you're just one person walking around with it doesn't make no sense. So it's a community based app. It's not for one little girl in one town to have it. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to have awareness. That's why we push it so much. And you know what I'm saying? Um but the way she felt, growing up, when I came to Minnesota, I came into a place where, I was culture shocked. So I know what it's like to be the only, chocolate person in the whole entire school you know and the only thing I didn't like is when people try to make me be the way they want me to be. Oh, you need to talk like this, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And the reason how they got me, and this is how I got in this is how I got, and how I got you know my accent. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like my accent, is when I believe I was 16 years old. No, I think I was probably, I don't know, I think I was 16 years old. And I got caught selling drugs downtown what was that? Downtown Minneapolis, right? So I was 16 years old. And so I went to a place called Lionel Lakes. It was a juvenile facility. It's called Lionel Lakes. And so um up in there they had something called no street language, right? There was a rule called no street language. And so what they call no street language, I call language. So I talk, you know what I'm saying? This is, what I'm saying? This is my culture. I'm not acting like someone I seen on a movie. I literally talk like this. You see what I'm saying? So when I be like, hey, what up, y'all? What up, dog? Whatever, whatever. We used to talk like that. And this was my normal everyday talk. I wasn't copying a a movie. It's just, I don't know how we get this lingo, but we just get it. It's a part of our culture. And so they told me, and how it works is that they give you 30 days, but every day you get a good day, they knock off one of your days. So No, it's called a 30-60. It's called a 30-60. You can go up to 60 days, but if you get good days, you'll get out in 30 days. And so I had a problem with what they call street language. And so what I would do is I would try to switch up the language. Instead of saying dog, I would say person. Like, what up, person? What up, people? I would switch the language because I couldn't get my get the way I talk out of my system. So I came up with these other words, and they caught on, and they was like, "No, you can't talk." And I'm like, "That's not street language." And they was just like, "We don't care what it is, we don't like it." So basically, what they was trying to do is they was making me try to act like them in order to get out of there. And so what I'm saying, so it didn't really hit me, and I didn't really understand what they was doing until one day, I was in there messing around, and I did something, and I got wrote up for it. And so when they called my name, I went to my room, and I was like, all right, Dan. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, all right, Dan. And I went to my room. And so the next day, they took one of my days for saying I did. And to me, this is not street language to me. This is my real talk. I really talk like this. I am not acting. Okay? I then means, we know what it means. I don't want to explain that. We know what that means. So they had a little meeting trying to figure out what that meant. I did. And so one of the little boys that I used to, I made little friends with, he understood what that meant. And he was telling them, he was like, he just means alrighty then. He just means, okay, no problem. But they wasn't having it. And so they took my day. So that means I needed to stay an extra day. And so that's when I realized, because I went in my room, I ain't gonna lie, I went in my room and I cried because I didn't know what the hell was going on. They was taking my day, trying to make me talk like them. And so I realized that the only way I was gonna get out of there is if I act like them. And it just so happened the next day, an 18-year-old boy came in. He had a juvenile warrant. He was 18. So he was a little older than us. You know what I'm saying? He was a Caucasian dude. And they told him, they said everybody needs to make their day for you to get your day. So I would go around and I would try to copy his lingo. I would try to copy his little postures and shit, to try to act like him, so I can go home. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So I can get out of there because these people taking my day, you know what I'm saying, just for talking. And so and so and so he was coaching me, he was helping me, because everybody needed to make that day for his day. He only had like a week up in there, you know what I'm saying? But everybody needed to make that day. And so eventually I end up picking up their lingo or whatever, their talking ways. And so when I got out, I'm on the phone one of the brothers from Chicago, and he talking to me, and I'm telling him I'm correcting his grammar and shit, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, I'm recognizing every word he say is street language. I'm like categorizing his speeches, and I'm just all fucked up, and I'm just like, oh man. And that's when I realized that they got me, y'all. That's when I realized it. They got me. And that's that. But growing up in these towns and growing up in these cities, you know at some point they're going to get your kid. They're going to get them. You see what I'm saying? I just happened to be in juvenile when they got me. But at some point, growing up in these little towns and these cities, they're going to get you. At some point, your kid's going to come home, and he's going to be like, okay, buddy, that's weird. Like, what are you doing? But we just got to keep the deep web from out of our community. The deep web is still in their community, and it's not in ours yet. But if that goes over to our community, if that deep web stuff goes over to our community, where you look on the news and Tyrone just ain't broke into a liquor store, Tyrone broke into a pet store and started going in and on the iguana and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Shelton is
Yeah. Oh man. And it probably happened in Shelton.
right. Right. So Sheldon is in Connecticut. It's in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those deep web towns that, they have a lot of little pedophilia, bestiality. Bestiality is legal in Connecticut. And those of you who wasn't here before, if you're trying to figure out how to start your deep web searches, and if you live in a deep web town, look up where's bestiality legal at. Wherever bestiality is legal, me personally, that would be a great spot for a deep webber to hibernate. So I start there. Missouri got some extra special. So if you live in Missouri, you are extra special person because they can marry like 11-year-olds and stuff like that. And so this culture, everybody knows about it, but you. Your mayor knows about it, but he has to know the laws. You see what I'm saying? The mayor of Florida knows bestiality is legal. The mayor of Connecticut knows what he knows. He's trying to get it. I heard he's trying to get it taken care of, but but it's too late. You already in the loop. So why would you do that? Can anybody give me a reason to legalize bestiality? Is there a reason? Uh, no diseases. I mean, well. Obviously, the people of Connecticut think it's okay. The people of Florida think it's okay. I don't think Texas got that. I don't think Texas. I think Texas shooting you right on the spot. Like, you know, yeah, that son of a gun was caught with some beavers, and I blew his brains out, and they threw a party right next to the body and shit. Like, Texas don't play that shit. So, ah, ah. But yeah, but that's a good spot. That's a good place to start your deep web searches. And that's but so I just wanted to bring that to parents' attention. So parents, definitely be aware of what's going on out there. And if you can watch this video, share this video, and hopefully we come up and and we cannot make this a sad day or nothing like that. It's mopey ass day. You know what I'm saying? But the young lady, feels some type of way, and me as a father, and me, you know, as a male, I feel like I want to hurt someone, you know, and I can't help that. And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm honestly, I wanna hurt somebody. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a help. I feel like she's helpless. In a way. I'm not gonna hurt anybody, but it's just a feeling I have, and I'm pretty sure every man in here has it, whether you want to admit it or not. Some of us play it out different. What I would do, I'm just gonna stick to the Lakeisha app. That's my solution. I would like to see it, see it grow. I would like to see it work more. I would like to see communities, use it and show me, extra things. Oh man, it would be nice if you had this or that, or add one of these and add one of that, and we can fix it up because we have a skeleton to work with, and then we can just put some, what comes next, the meat. You know what I'm saying? The meat, the flesh, whatever comes next, whatever, however you want to break that down, because we have the skeleton, and so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it on that. And you don't have to teach your kids about the deep web, but understand that many of us live in these deep web activity cities, and um and there's nothing, and we going to work not even knowing about it. Especially poor foreigners. Poor foreigners have no idea, bro. Poor foreigners. I remember the first time I told this to one of the Somalian guys. He was like, "What?" He like, "What?" I'm like, "I should never even told you that, because now America ain't even America to you no more." So poor foreigners, they rush over here, have no idea what's going on, and they think we crazy. Like, oh man, they think we crazy. But so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Um, Lotus, you want to kind of take us out? Anybody got any questions, anything before we head out? Lotus Chief dropped off.
Yeah, Chief dropped out. Honorable admiration to the brothers and sisters of the feather. Hopefully, you learned something today that you can use, which actually you definitely have with the Lakeisha app. This can protect and stop. And also, this is putting us in a position to potentially stop the next school shooting. So we definitely need to take advantage of this app and use it, because this can protect and stop. Again, this information and what we're going to dive into today, what we're going to deal with, and catching it before it escalates into a very, very horrible situation. Let's show our support and share and spread and get this information out, that this situation that has happened with the cyberbullying, a young sister being uncomfortable, who feels so uncomfortable that she probably does not want to return to the school. So we need to have it to where when that's happening, that we are all notified, those with the Lakeisha app, and that we can help in some way possible. Yeah, family. This is very important, man, that we know that this dark web is something that will fill the minds of our youth with thoughts and time of being bullied and then responding in a way that they definitely should. And other things, man, we see this bestiality stuff going on, and that's just the beginning. That's just two things. It's unlimited things going on. So yeah, we definitely need to stay on point in this, and definitely know what's going on with our youth. Remember, saying the children are the future. I know somebody think about the joke. Well, in the future, they won't be children anymore, but still, they are. These are the next generations and the babies to come. We want to make sure that our babies don't deal with these same situations that the young sister has experienced at school, with being called the N-word and the lack of supervision and response being something worthy of actually stopping the incident, and instead it escalates worse. So a family would definitely be looking forward to that interview and seeing what's going on, brother, man. Appreciate you, Ty David, and our good brother Chief.
Oh yeah, I'm back, y'all.
Okay, before Chief go in, make sure you guys can check out the Lakeisha Recall Center. You know what I'm saying? They're recalling Nissans and Chevys. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's helping. You know what I'm saying? Putting things together. It's starting to. It seems like the community don't know how to take work. It's like, are they working? Like, people don't know how to take it yet. But you soon enough you're gonna be spoiled, and you're gonna get used to it, because over here, tribal, we're gonna spoil you. We got a lot of stuff going on, and it's finna hit the fan. So definitely go check out the Lakeisha Recall Center as well. And see what new products being recalled as well to protect your household. Especially as a man, we're majority dominant men channel. So definitely go check. We'll see what's out there threatening your family. Chief, you good? You got it? Want to take us out, Chief?
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, we're gonna come back, man, with an interview a little later. Yeah, it's always informative, man. Ty Data always dig deep, man. Yeah. So like I said, I don't want to spoil the interview and divulge any information that I want you guys to hear directly from. Um, we don't want to say victims, the fighters in this case. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna call them, fighters. So shout out to the Jernigan, shout out to the Jacksons. We in the building, y'all. Piece of the tribe, y'all. Yeah, man, let's get on up out of here. Ty, and like I said, we'll be back, y'all, with that a little later. Peace and love to the tribe. We out.
Hi, my name is Lakeisha from the Lakeisha Network. I am here to remind you to go to your Google or Apple App Store. Simply type the word LAKESHA and then search to install and download the Lakeisha Alert app to stay up to date on my new superior features. Subscribe to my YouTube page by opening up your app and clicking menu. Click on the About Us tab. Try to get familiar with my software, and also teach it to your loved ones. And get your household familiar with my information. It will be useful in the future. You're welcome in advance.